Hello, folks. Welcome to the Hello World Podcasting with Magdalena. Okay, I've been back again after so long. So good to hear, guys, from you. Thank you for tuning in. And for those who are new, I just wanted to welcome you and just let you know about my podcasting. That is about using astrology as a GPS and see what direction and what is really going on so that we can actually master easier the situation and ahead of us. And yes, we've been in a very intense times. And what I was really looking for today to kind of focus more on it, which I was actually looking for quite a bit, to talk about, and that is the world that we are in, or the world that we know is changing rapidly. And the biggest changes, what I'm seeing, there are many of them, but for me, who is following actually, what's really going on, I am very much kind of trying to pay attention to the Pluto finishing in Capricorn. That will be done on November 19. And another one is actually Neptune is also finishing its 168 years cycle in Pisces, included right now with Saturn that is playing with that. And so when these two are actually finishing the cycle 2025, we are really hitting a new arena that we did not experience in our lifetime. But before we go on, actually, I would kind of like to say, as always, see where the stars are, what is really going on, and, what does that actually mean for us. Right now, we are actually with the sun in Virgo, moon in Aquarius. No wonder why it's so challenging. Mercury is in Virgo, Venus is in Libra, Mars is in Cancer. Oh, Mars doesn't like to be in Cancer, guys, because that cannot be active. It's very sensitive, slow. So it's not the best position because, Mars is a fighter or Mars is a warrior, and Cancer is very emotional. So it's really kind of dissipate the energy of the Mars. Jupiter is actually in Gemini, Saturn is retrograde in Pisces, Uranus is retrograde in Taurus, and Neptune is retrograde in Pisces. So yes, Saturn and Neptune are in Pisces retrograde. Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn in 29 degree and 48 seconds. So it's really the last degree. And most of the time, what is really happening when something is at the 29 degree, it's very intense. And this is what I was kind of focusing on. My interest is actually to talk about that. Chiron is in Aries, true north node, and Chiron is in Aries, retrograde, true north node is in Aries, also retrograde, and Lilith is retrograde in Libra. So, as we like to say it, so what does that all mean to us? Well, the number one is change. No matter what direction we are looking for, folks, it's about change. So if this is something that is actually very uncomfortable for you, I would say it is what it is, and let's try to make the best of it. Why I am kind of focusing myself on the Pluto, finishing in the Capricorn, because Pluto is about destruction. And as we know, and we are seeing what's really going on in the world. We are seeing that it's huge destruction happening, breaking down the structure. And the biggest thing, what is really eye-opening to me, and I'm not quite sure how you feel about yourself, but it became clear to me in the last year or 1.5, 2 years has been full. These changes, in many cases, are not happening natural. What does that mean? We are seeing right now this incredible control, power grab, manipulation, and the biggest things what is so hard here is that when when the humans are not able to express their soul aspect or the personal growth or why they are here, it becomes very destructive. And I think right now we are at a point where we can say easily that humanity is under incredible distress. Humanity is almost, I've been actually saying this for a couple of times, almost as endangered species. And the life, what we know in this planet is becoming um, under huge question. You know, what direction we are going to go here? And I've been thinking about so many things. Why is this happening? And since I'm, in health and wellness and dealing with, a lot of conditions and trying to understand what's happening and everything else, I've been recognizing that more and more what we are dealing right now is about unresolved issue, folks. This unresolved issue is actually not from yesterday, a couple of years ago. That could go, from the beginning as we've been born in this lifetime, but also many, many lifetimes prior. And what I've been also trying to understand on the much deeper level about the imprinting that we are holding actually in our bodies in the different area in the energetic field. And listen, I know there are so many other peoples who are talking much more advanced material about this issue. But to me is I like to go, step by step. I don't like to skip certain things. I'm totally aware, I've been reading about this kind of stuff maybe 20, 30 years ago. But until you are really facing what's really going on, it is just look like a mental mumbo jumbo. It doesn't make sense. And nothing makes sense actually. And so right now we are facing, these challenges in every area of our life. And now finally these imprintings are coming to the surface and, trying to be integrated. I had many, many conversations with a friend of mine, and we've been talking about, how a lot of people are using, the different techniques and stuff. But to me, I have to be very, very honest that nothing, unless I am really able to transform the energy, nothing is actually helping. Why? Because, and what does that mean to me? Is that if we are just kind of doing whatever, tapping or whatever, subliminal and hypnosis and all this stuff, we are actually just overriding the imprinting. And as I've been, working on myself and trying to understand the issue, I became very clear about these frequencies and vibrations that no matter, look, like I said, whatever technique I was using, unless I was really trying to understand what does that mean, what is beyond that emotion, what is hidden, it just didn't work for me. So I don't want to say that nothing is working, but it didn't work for me. I really wanted to be specific about that. And so what I'm actually experiencing right now in these last couple of months, I'm very consciously paying attention between this polarity between Capricorn and Cancer energy. And the Capricorn, as I've been saying, it's really about, changing the structure, um, falling apart. And I think because there are so many people waking up and trying to address, their lives and their reality, that's why we are actually uh, dissolving these structures. And I think that's one of the reasons why we have so much chaos visible. Before it was not so visible because we did not have so many people, dealing with that. And today, I mean, you have so many people talking about the changes. And also, I have to just kind of add to this whole thing about the Schumann resonance. Holy moly, in the last 2 days, it is so intense. And what I'm feeling in the last 2 days, so many imprintings are coming to the surface that it is, the energy is just, it's almost becoming, it feels like an information. It's that intense, the energy that is coming to the surface. So, and every time I'm done, hey, my body feels perfect. So it's about, integrating and transforming. And the best way to understand this is if you are actually trying to dive maybe into the alchemy and how alchemy works. And that will give you a much, much deeper understanding, how, best way to kind of transform these energies. I mean, like I said, this is my aspect. And also, what I wanted to add is that as I was paying attention, between the Capricorn and Cancer, the Cancer energies right now, in the last couple of months, coming also incredibly to the surface. And the biggest issue, what I am finding with that is the human will is trying to get voice or be expressed, because we are constantly talking, you hear body mind and spirit, body mind and spirit, body mind and spirit, but nobody is talking about the emotions. Yet the emotions are the one who are actually at the motor or pushing what is really going on. I was just actually 2 days ago reading uh, about somebody who is actually I think, the transgression therapist, and who did an incredible work how to work with these energies. And I was uh, reading about his material a little. It became amazing. And this is something that I've been actually approaching or reading also from different angle. I like to study the tissue salts, and I'm right now also learning more about Raymond Gray's, how we can actually change the frequency with dowsing. Even though these guys are very simple methods, you know, it is very helpful. So, like I said, if somebody works more on the simple or wants a more simple techniques, I think Raymond Gray's technique is very well put together, and he has a great videos, on the YouTube. But as I was reading about this other guy who wrote a couple of books. In one of the books, he talks about, that if the emotions are not expressed, or they don't get uh, space or stage to be expressed, we are holding that in the body, and the body ends up to be sick. That can cause diseases. And then the next question was, well, you think, that all those chemicals and EMF and toxins and everything else, what we are surrounded with, they are the one they are creating these pathogens, and then these pathogens are actually attacking the body. But the point was beyond. It's like, yeah, but you forgot that maybe beyond that, long time ago, it was an emotional stress, or something happened that you didn't pay attention to it. And this is something that I've been actually also contemplating about pathogens and bacteria and viruses and all this stuff. And the question is, why are these guys happening? And my feedback to that is, this is actually our body feedback to the environment, and the way we've been challenged right now. I mean, if you really pay attention, you will recognize we are dealing with such a huge amount of battle of belief systems. It's huge. Hey, my belief system is right, yours is wrong, blah, 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 blah. Everybody, look at all this, I would say, all this censoring and what is really happening. This is just kind of pushing on us somebody else's belief system. And you know what? Hey, if you're not going to listen to me, I will freaking shut you down. Which is actually, that's just a pure manipulation, And I was really looking forward to add things, law versus legal. Oh my gosh. I don't know, do I want to do this today? Um, Maybe I will just kind of give you a little hint that 2 years ago I was taking a class on law and legal. Why I am actually even throwing this here is that I just found out. Hold on, let me just check on the Telegram. It says Thomas Marcy just protected America from the World Health Organization. And it's only 5:29 a minute video, but talks about, this is very much connected to the law versus legal, meaning that what we are going to face in the near future is that the other human being, they don't have a power, they don't have authority over you. Those are all people beyond the costumes. I really love this analogy of Jennifer. And you know what? If somebody wants me to let them know about that video, please, let me know. Send me a note, and I can send you actually 40 minutes of her video. So this is hugely right now big movement that people are waking up that these people who think they are in power, they are in charge, they are overreaching, and the only way we will actually be able to bring balance again is to use the law, which is actually the universal law, because everything that is man-made is lawful, but it is not the law. And I think many of you know already about that. So to that, I would like to add the Neptune Saturn cycle that is also finishing, because Neptune is right now in Pisces after 168 years finishing the cycle. And the Pisces is actually the last sign in the astrology. And what we are right now experiencing with that, we are also experiencing, because Neptune is also showing us the biggest illusion. And the Saturn is teaching us the law, meaning you will not graduate unless you are actually learning what you need to learn to make it happen, or I understand the law and the rules. And that's why I was thinking this is very much a very interesting connection between this law and lawful, and the Pluto finishing the Capricorn, all these old structures, all those laws, and Neptune finishing the whole cycle, in the Pisces. So this is really bringing us to a whole new uncharted territory, folks. Even we've been, in the from the physics side and space, or however you want to call it, they are also talking that as we are moving in our spiral, galactic spiral, we are right now being moved into the territory that we've never been there before. So it's very interesting that everything is kind of coming together as a cycle. And the biggest issue what we are facing here is that the Uranus is the one who is actually translating through our nerve, which represents, Uranus also represents things, freedom, but also representing the nervous system. So I would say, be wise, or be mindful how actually your nervous system is being challenged, because that can also hugely impact the brain and put incredible stress on the mental health. And look at what's really going on. You are not sound and healthy, blah blah, so you cannot make a decision. We have to make a decision for you, blah blah blah, all this jazz. So this way, folks, you really wanted to kind of take charge of your health, of you, what's really going on. And this is why I like to call, my show, uh, Hello World, what's really going on, using the astrology as a GPS, to guide us. And at the other side, another intense stuff is happening. Jupiter is actually in the Gemini, and Gemini again rules the nervous system, you know, and with that, and Uranus also rules the electricity in the brain and in the heart. So if those things are on the overload, it can, you can get very overstimulated. And at the same time, this uncertainty that we are facing, it's very much actually connected to the fear. But if we start to understand that, and that's my mantra for a long time, that you do not have to die when you are dealing with this kind of changes, because most of the time people are, becoming so overwhelmed that they just check out. And what I always say is that when you start to understand that, these changes are look like a debt to the psyche, to the life force, to everything, but you can actually, be able to adjust yourself. But it takes a huge amount of energy and discipline, you know. And I will have to say that it's not necessarily easy. And as I always say, why people are not going through these changes, because they are very powerful, and people are afraid to feel. But as you can see it, we are being forced um, through the nature in combine in combining with other, aspects, astrological aspects that being played out in the world. So um I'm kind of thinking, what would I like to still add to that? I think I will leave it here, because look, like I said, I really wanted us to consciously finish this Pluto Capricorn cycle by November. And then, the next conscious cycle will be, finishing the Neptune, Saturn. And why I would say consciously, so practically, allow yourself to kind of summarize your life. I understand what is working, see what is working, what is not working. And trust me, letting go is very painful. But the point is, you recognize it's not serving you. So we are gonna be forced to be like it or not, for these changes. So folks, as I said, I think I will leave it here, and you know try to add other aspects, in the next podcasting. In the meantime, be gentle to yourself, and forgive yourself. Learn to accept what has to go. And when these cycles are done, we are being moved into the two whole new cycle. One with Pluto in Aquarius, which will end up to be very challenging too. But we are just actually at the beginning. And the next one will be, Neptune and Saturn in Aries, which means we are, starting a whole new cycle, folks. This is why I would say, right now, Chiron being in the Aries, it's a wounded healer. And encouraging you to work your pain, because the wounded healer is really helping us to heal our wounds so that we can move forward, cross the bridge into the new territory. The same thing with the North Node being in the Aries. So it's kind of interesting. They are both actually in the same sign. And the South Node is actually in the Libra. So definitely the biggest challenge is to learn how to create a whole new relationships. So I hope that was not overwhelming because, even though it seems very simple, it's a lot, because this is something that you are not going to work through only through your mind, but you have to involve your emotions. Practically, you have to add your heart. So love you guys. Take good care. And until next time, see ya.